Friends, so in about a week, we're going to do our telepathy experiment using the float tanks. And 4 of you will be soaking in the tanks, and some of us will be outside perceiving something that you're going to try and perceive psychically. I wanted to give you some tips to try this week before we do our experiment so that those of you soaking in the tanks can feel really adjusted to the process of soaking for 90 minutes without moving your body, because I really want you to relax fully while you're in there so that you can spend most of your attention on the task at hand instead of getting used to just not moving your body. So what you can do, try this at least once or twice this week, is either lay on the floor or lay on a blanket on the floor or a yoga mat, and definitely use a pillow so you're comfortable. Or if you really want to, you can do this laying on a couch or on your bed. Probably on your bed is the best, because you'll want to spread your arms open a little bit, let your legs spread a little bit, and that's the position you'll be in when you're soaking in your tank. And hopefully you won't be touching any of the walls. The water temperature will match your body temperature, so after a few minutes you won't be able to tell where your body ends and the water begins. And this will help you let go of your body even more. But it's still tough for first timers to get used to not moving at all for almost 90 minutes. So what you'll do, whether laying on the floor or on your bed, is set a timer, maybe for an hour and 20 minutes, and see if you can just lay there and try meditating while you're laying there, but commit to not moving your body, to actually letting go of the sensation of your body so that you're just left with your own awareness. And you can do any technique that you know of so you can enter that state. For example, you could try exhaling, and with every exhale, imagine that you're releasing all the stress in your body out through your skin, and it dissolves beyond your body. You could also, on the inhale, focus on bringing in energy from the outside as if there's prana in the air around you. And as you inhale, you take in the prana through the cells of your skin, filling your body with energy. And after a while of doing that, either exhaling your stress or inhaling energy, or just being present, you'll gradually let go of the feeling of your body entirely and just rest with your open awareness. If you need a little bit of an anchor, you could bring your attention to the breathing in and out of your nose, or even better, you could bring your attention into the medulla, which some people think is where the third eye is actually centered, that it's actually the medulla, or that space in that part of your brain right there, near the pineal gland. And the way you can find that part of yourself is feel the back of your skull with your attention, especially right here where the bump comes out of your skull. Learn how to find that space with your mind only, so without reaching back. But just find your way there, and then bring your attention inside your skull until you're about the middle part. And you'll feel like you're somewhere inside, and just keep your attention there. That'll help you actually let go of your body from the neck down and just be present to your own awareness and your consciousness. And when you're present that way in that part of your head, that may be when and where you start to receive impressions from those of us outside the room, focusing on the target that you're going to try and perceive. So just to put it briefly, at least once or twice this week, try and lay down for 90 minutes still without moving your body in any way. If you need to meditate to help you do that, that's great, because it'll help you that day. I really just want you to be able to take full advantage of those 90 minutes while you're soaking, instead of just getting used to laying in salt water and fighting that urge to move the body. So if you can train yourself to relax while laying on the ground or laying on your bed, you'll be really ready for Saturday morning. Okay, well, see you then. Hey friends, so tomorrow we're going to do our telepathy experiment, and I wanted to give you some instructions to know beforehand so that we can make the most of our time while we're there using the float tanks and the lobby. First, we're going to talk about how we'll arrive there, and then I'll give you some extra instructions for those who are going to be in the float tank. Some things you can try when you want to try and perceive our inner thoughts, for those of us who are going to be projecting thoughts to you. Okay, so the float tank session starts at 11 o'clock. So we all want to get there maybe 5 minutes before. We can meet right outside or in the lobby there. We'll just wait for everyone. And then the floaters, the people floating, they're going to meet with the person who works there and get their orientation. And then the rest of us who are going to be in the lobby there, focusing on the target, we're just going to hang out in the lobby and you're going to have your laptops with you, but don't take them out yet. We'll just wait till everyone gets situated in their float room, and then we'll start working with our target. And then at the very end, when the floaters finish their float sessions, I want to be able to record all the impressions that came to you during your session very quickly and easily for you. So what we'll do is when the first person comes out of the room, I want you to come out and come outside, because they don't want us talking and making noise inside. So come outside with me, and I'll have a video camera. And that way you don't have to worry about writing anything down. You can just tell me exactly what the thoughts were that came to you while you were floating for an hour and a half. And that way you can just do stream of consciousness, describe whatever came to you. Any things that are a little bit difficult to pin down, you can just sort of describe them, and we'll just capture them as quickly as possible when you come out of your tank. And so when the first person is done, the second person will come out. It will be good for you floaters not to talk to each other before you report your impressions to me, because if one person hears what the other person said, it might color what the other person thinks that they were perceiving, and I don't want that to happen. So I want to get your distinct impressions privately on camera as soon as you come out of your float tank. And then we'll gather up as a group and go somewhere and get a snack or just hang out outside and chat to talk about the whole experience. Okay, so some extra instructions for the people using the float tanks. You got the instructions about a week ago for how to prepare to not move your body for about 90 minutes. And that'll be less than 90 minutes because there's time to get prepared, to shower, rinse off, to get in. And then when you get out, you'll want to shower and rinse off all that salt. But then it leaves you a nice long block of time to lay down in the water and relax and go through your process. And so part of the beginning time there will be just settling in, getting used to the experience of floating in complete darkness with very buoyant water, very saline, lots of salt to help you float, and just relaxing into it. And then at a certain point, you want to set the intention that you want to perceive what is occurring in the minds of the people in the lobby, of me and Jill and Michelle and Leanne. I think I got all of us. So we're all going to be focusing on a target, and that target is going to be in the format of a video. And the video is going to have a very particular theme, a specific theme to it. And the imagery will not be varied. Okay, so it's going to be a pretty consistent thing we're looking at and experiencing and listening to during the time that you're floating. So it'll be easy when you come out at the end and meet me outside and I record your impressions. It's really just going to take a few words from you to let me know whether or not you tuned in to our minds and started perceiving what we were perceiving while you were floating. So now you know, you're just going to be trying to tap into our minds as we're experiencing something that we're watching on our laptops. You could also just try and do a more remote viewing style type of thing, because at the very end, when we gather as a group, I'll show you what we were watching. So you could treat that as a feedback mechanism and try and project your mind into the future and see what is the feedback. But really, we're going to be watching while you're floating. So try and tap into our mental state, our mental experience. And a couple ways to do that are set the intention and just relax and let go. You might even find yourself drifting into little dreamlets, having some random eye movement, some dream stage. And during that period, impressions come to you. So just set the intention to remember what comes to you if you drift off to sleep and dream. You could also try the method of sending warm feelings toward us, feelings of loving kindness, friendship, connection, love, whatever, or just basic good feelings. Try and send us feelings from your heart. Try to connect to our hearts. And I found personally, in my personal experience in the past, that when you connect with someone through loving kindness, it opens a gateway for the transmission of information. So you might try that too. You're going to have time in the float tank to try 2 or 3 different techniques. Or you could just set the intention and let go and relax and try and remember everything that comes to you the rest of the time. And again, with the loving kindness technique, you could just apply the loving, breathe out loving kindness, breathe in loving kindness from us, because we'll be sending you some. But then after a while, just let go of any effort and see what comes in through your perception from the subconscious mind into the conscious mind. The most difficult part of this whole thing will probably be just to remember everything that came to you during that whole time and not forget it before you record it to me. But it's easy. Just set an intention. When something comes in that's significant, and anything that's strange or out of place will probably be significant, just put it in a little box in your imagination. Say, I'm going to save this for later. I'm going to save this to tell Sean about after the experiment. And just using that technique of saying, oh, I had this impression, I'm going to put it in this box for later, will help you remember. So when you come out, you can open that box in your mind and say, what did I put in there? These memories will come back to you, and then you report them to me. So I'm really excited to see how it goes. So I will see you a little bit before 11 o'clock tomorrow at the Easy Float on South Pearl Street. Okay, take care.